Hello everybody, it's Christina and welcome back to my library. I am a bit of a mess today. They just announced that Kingdom Hearts is coming to the Switch and I'm so excited. I love that game so much and now I can finally play it, just, chilling on my Switch. Anyway, we're not talking about that right now, but I am super excited about it. So I'm a little discombobulated right now. I was supposed to record this like an hour and a half ago, but I was too hype. So now I'm better. I'm not as hype. So let's see if I can get through this. Also, I'm a little late in posting this, but I didn't get a chance to record this over the weekend. So just bear with me a little bit as I get this done. Also, my dog is walking into the room as I record this, but she's good now. Okay. The first book that I want to talk about, I actually already finished, but it was part of my October TBR and I did read it in October. So I'm going to mention it anyway. I'm not going to give you any spoilers or anything about, how I felt about it, but figured I'd mention it anyway. And that is Mexican Gothic by Sylvia Moreno-Garcia. Okay. I've been in a very Gothic, haunted house, spooky vibes kind of move. It's October, it's to be expected. So this book seemed like it would check all the boxes for me. It's about a woman named Noemi, I think that's how you say her name, and she is going to visit her cousin at this mansion in Mexico. I'm not going to say much more than that because it's a haunted house, creepy vibes kind of book. The next book is another book by Sylvia Moreno-Garcia, and I don't have a physical copy of it. I actually have it on my Kindle, and that is Certain Dark Things, and that one is about a vampire named Atoll, and there's this whole gang war kind of a thing going on between vampire gangs, and she's kind of in the middle of it. She meets a guy named Domingo, and we are kind of trying to figure out what exactly happened with Otto's family and a little bit more about the vampires and the war that's going on between the rival gangs and whatnot. Next up is the book that I chose, or one of the books that I chose for an audiobook this month, and that is White Knight by Jim Butcher. I was originally going to try and get a physical copy of this book because I do try to have the Dresden Files series on my shelf, but I couldn't, my local bookstore didn't have it, so I just got it on audiobook instead. And this is book 9 of the Dresden Files, and you're following Harry while he figures out what's causing a bunch of what looks like suicides, but are actually possibly magical murders that are happening in Chicago, and he's going to start investigating that, and he's working with his normal cast of characters and trying to figure out what exactly is going on. The Dresden Files is another series that I've just kind of really been in the mood for right now, even though it doesn't necessarily always take place in the fall or have spooky vibes. It is still an urban fantasy with a lot of supernatural elements to it. Vampires, werewolves, ghosts, all that kind of stuff. And it feels very fall like this is a good time of year for it because there is also some mysteries involved and stuff like that. So having the Dresden Files in October really works out well for me. I think it's a good one to read in the fall for sure. Next up is a library book that I have checked out, and this one I think I've seen recommended on a couple of horror book recommendations or maybe thriller book. I can't remember, but it is The Library at Mount Char by Scott Hawkins. Hopefully you can see it okay because it's got the library covering on it. I don't know a whole lot about this book yet, just that it's very weird. A lot of people either love it or they hate it, and there's it's multiple perspective. But yeah, I'm kind of interested in this one because I hear it's spooky but also just very odd, which honestly I think I'm starting to realize I really like it when books, especially creepy, horror type books, have a very, weird element to it. So I'm looking forward to giving this one a shot. I'm probably going to start it soon, actually. Next up is another ebook, and this one I am also getting from my library. I actually have a hold on it already. I'm just waiting for it to become available, and that is Sharp Objects by Gillian Flynn. Gillian Flynn is a really good writer of thrillers. She tends to write very unique women in her books, and I'm curious to see what this one is all about. I know that it's already a TV show. I haven't watched it yet, but I did read Dark Places by her, and I really liked that one. I didn't love Gone Girl. I read that one as well, But Dark Places, I really, really liked. So I'm hoping that Sharp Objects is really good as well. And now I'm just kind of waiting for it to become available on my Kindle, but it should be here before the end of October, so I should be able to read it this month. The next book that I want to read is a classic. Actually, I have 2 classics this month, and I feel like October, spooky season, there's a couple of classics that I really would like to read right now, so I'm going to talk about both of those right now. The first one is My Cousin Rachel by Daphne du Maurier, and I read Rebecca last year. I think it was around this time of year last year, and I loved it. I loved the vibe that you got from Rebecca. It was very dark, it was very atmospheric, and you really are trying to figure out what's going on. And I know that My Cousin Rachel is supposed to be very similar to that, and I think actually that's kind of where Sylvia Moreno-Garcia got her inspiration for Mexican Gothic. Maybe it was Rebecca, but either way, it was inspired by Daphne du Maurier. So I would really like to read more of her stuff and more books about like these Gothic mansions, because I love that atmosphere, especially at this time of year. So yeah, I was definitely looking forward to this one, and I do have it on my Kindle, and that is also a library book that I checked out from, I think I used Libby. So there's a couple that I used. It's either Hoopla or Libby. Libby had this one, so I'm going to be reading that one hopefully soon, because I do want to get into that as well. And next I have the other classic book that I am going to be checking out this month, and I feel like this one is going to be perfect for this time of year, and that is Dracula by Bram Stoker. I have never read Dracula. I know, I've never read it, and then Barnes & Noble had this beautiful copy at the store the other day. Apparently it's a Barnes & Noble exclusive. Who knew? But anyway, it's got these black pages, and it's so pretty. It's so pretty. And I'm just, it's getting me into the mood to like just be completely creeped out by this. So I'm looking forward to this one as well. Obviously, Dracula is a classic. It's inspired a lot of vampire novels throughout the years. I hear that this one, and I've never read it before, but I hear that this one is done in a series of like letters and newspaper articles, which I'm super intrigued by, because I really liked, and I know that it's completely different, I get that, but I really liked the Illuminae files, which was done kind of in that same way of writing, where you've got, you know, the articles and the letters. Well, in that case it was emails, but same thing. I really liked that style, so I'm looking forward to checking this out as well. I actually didn't know that that's how this was written at first, but I've looked into it, and now I'm like, ooh, I really am excited to read this one as well and just be completely creeped out by it. Like I'm just in that mood right now. I'm gonna save this one probably for around Halloween, because I'm gonna be in that like super big, spooky, creepy vibe by then. So I'm gonna really want to be scared, and I think that this one's gonna be perfect for that time of year. And finally, the last book that I want to read is The Sweetness at the Bottom of the Pie by Alan Bradley. And the reason I picked this one out is that it is a mystery, first of all. It features a young girl, which gave me like big Nancy Drew vibes. And as I mentioned in my booktube newbie tag, I loved Nancy Drew as a kid. I read almost all of the books. I love that series so much. It inspired me to be a reader and the reader that I am today. So I wanted to check this out because the main character of this, I forget her name. What is her? Flavia. Flavia sounds a lot like Nancy Drew, but she's much younger and much more precocious, which I think sounds like it's going to be a lot of fun. And it takes place in a big Gothic mansion. So I was like, all right, perfect. It's a mystery. It's got a Nancy Drew type character, and it's got a Gothic mansion. This is like literally perfect for this time of year. However, while I do have the physical copy of it, and this is from my library, I am probably going to listen to this on audiobook, which I noticed that I could get the audiobook from my library as well. So I'm going to probably do that because it was actually recommended in a comment by, I believe, Simitude Sims, and she said that I should read this as an audiobook because the voice actors do, or the narrators do, an amazing job, especially the one that does Flavia. So I'm going to do that because I'm actually almost done with the Dresden Files book. So once I finish that, I'll switch over to this, and then I'll listen to it while I'm, doing things around the house, cleaning, cooking, that kind of thing. So it'll be perfect to listen to for that. So that is the end of my October TBR. I'm hoping I can get to all of these books. I read 8 books in September, so I believe this is also 8 books. It might be 9. I'm already done with one of them, almost done with the other, so I should be able to do it. I'm hoping I can. What books are you hoping to read in October? I know that it's a big spooky season. Are you going for like the spookier, creepier books right now, or are you looking for something a little bit more low-key? Let me know in the comments below. I always love to hear your thoughts and what you're reading and your opinions and your recommendations, all that kind of stuff. Let me know in the comments down below. You can also follow me on Twitter. You can follow me on Instagram, you can follow me on Goodreads, you can join my Discord. I have links for all of those down in the description box below, and you can become a channel member, which is an optional $1.99 or $4.99 a month by clicking the join button down below, or you can become a Fan House subscriber, which is $3 a month, and I post all sorts of things there, recipes, pictures of my dog, I have get ready with me vlogs, all sorts of stuff over there that I don't necessarily think would go here on my YouTube channel. But again, all of those are completely optional. It just helps me out a little bit. And I hope you all have a great day, and I will see you later. Bye.